Hello, everybody. Welcome to the start of Corsace Closed 2022. We are back with another very exciting year. It has been the full calendar cycle. Last year, a little bit different, not an invitational-based tournament. This year, we are bringing it back to the roots, an invitational-based tournament. We have invited some of the top tournament players, some of the top players within the community to participate and face off against each other in some absolutely insane competition. We will be going over those players this afternoon, this evening. I will be one of your casters today, Chillier Pair, joined, surprisingly, in a last-minute effort by Half Slashed.
How you guys doing?
He was brought in. I don't want to say brought in. I would force him to stay here to join us today for this. So we'll be getting a little bit of extra insight from him.
Dude, they told me we were going to be talking about maps, not players. I don't know these players. I'm just kidding. I do know these players. Like, these... If you don't know these players, you haven't been watching tournaments in the past year or two, or even since then. I mean, everyone knows these players. You've seen these players perform. We're just going to be talking about them for, I don't know, half hour, I don't know, however long you got breath for, Chillier.
Well, we'll see how much we can go for here. Of course, we'll have our players showcase, and then immediately following, we'll stick over to Half Slash department with our qualifier showcase. But without further ado, I have not yet seen what order we are going through these players in, but we are going to move on to check out our first invited player will be Malashevsky. Now, this is a name that really doesn't need too much introduction. Our number one player on the showcase here, global rank number 16. He has been the staple of the tournament scene for basically the past year now, has run through every tournament he's participated in, has easily been the highest performing player across any 1v1 and team tournament we have seen in recent months, an insanely skilled player at high skill cap stuff, at consistency, whatever you need him to play, he is there for, and it is absolutely no surprise that we will be seeing him in this player listing.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. He did participate in Corsace Closed 2021. We also saw him last year in Corsace Open with a really strong showing on El Dupa. In particular, some of the players, even those of his teammates, said he was the reason why they all have a third place badge at all, right? So this guy is truly next level. Winner of Nick's Winter Cup 2022. And really his specialty is aim control. I don't know, any sort of aim control pattern, any BPM, he can just do it very easily. He's got hard rock skills, like I don't know. And then of course the rest of the mechanics are also up to par, so
very up to par. For those of you that are wondering, these stats that you are seeing on the right-hand side of your screen are from Corsace Closed last year. So if any of these seem a little bit off maybe from the current player's performance, then that's exactly where we are pulling those from. Of course, that tech stat on Malashevsky, not quite representative of his current ability to play that skill set there. So we'll be seeing a lot more of that from him in this tournament. But that is our first player on the showcase, Malashevsky. We're going to see a lot more of very impressive players on the listing for the showcase today. Number two, going to be our second Polish player in a row, actually, will be Bartek. Kind of the staple of the Polish tournament scene for the past couple of years. I think those of you who have been around for a very long time kind of have like Mappool in the back of your mind as the Polish tournament player. He kind of stopped playing the game as much, and Bartek basically took that spot. He's easily been the top performing player in Poland for a very, very long time. He has participated on a significant number of winning top tournament teams. I guess if we had to just name a few out of the board here, he's won Speed Cup. He won Corsace Open in 2020. He's won Old Map Fantasy. He has won Corsace Open last year. I mean, there are a significant number of high-profile tournaments that he has performed exceedingly well in. And again, kind of that 5.55 speed, not being super representative of overall performances here, but another very high-performing, high-consistency, experienced player up here.
Yeah, it's good to see him back in the field and not just being a pooler. Wink, wink.
Well, absolutely. Great to see him out for the tournament this year. Invited, willing, ready to participate, better than ever. We'll see how see if he's able to live up to that name. Maybe give Malashevsky a run for his money as the top Polish tournament player this year. On to our next player, not from Poland this time, from Romania. The well-known name Badu. I think that will resonate in the minds of both tournament players and non-tournament players alike. This is the first time we'll be seeing Badu in Corsace Closed. Was not a participant in the last iteration from 2021. I really just don't know what to say about Badu. His mechanical skill and his aim are off the charts. He's able to play most skill sets across the board. Again, of course, that specialty being anything, close to gimmick reading or aim-oriented skill sets. A very high skill cap player, very consistent across the board again as well. And another player that, again, following the trend and not sounding like a broken record, but a very, very good player, very consistent, experienced tournament player. Once again, we'll be seeing a lot of that, of course, in this.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see this guy. He's the example that proves that my maps are playable. So I really like to see Badu out here. We can't wait to see what he pulls off in this tournament.
Yeah, it'll be fantastic. He was easily the star player on the Romanian OWC team last year alongside Eternum, and has been for a very long time, and is kind of, the figurehead of the Romanian player scene right now. So he will be certainly a face to look out for here. Has performed very well in multiple tournaments in the past. But that is Badu. We'll be moving on to our fourth player in the team listing now. Will be Mathy. Now, this is a name that was around in the tournament scene for a very long time and was arguably regarded as the best player in the game for a short period of time. And then he kind of stepped aside and has recently come back and is just as strong as ever. The highest ranked player we have shown on the showcase thus far, being a top 10 global player, number 7, another non-participant from last year. Will be making his first appearance in Corsace Closed with this iteration here. Mathy is another one of those all-round tournament players where you kind of take a look at his solo skill sets and he really does fall towards the speed and DT side of things, but is very proficient in multiple tournament skill sets. And I think that's very representative of his rank and his experience in this game, and just how well he can play these very difficult maps, as Corsace Closed is notorious for having some very difficult map pools right out of the gate.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see what he pulls off. He's fresh off of a Speed Cup win, I believe Speed Cup 5. And he doesn't just have the speed and stamina, like Chillier said. His aim control is definitely up there. So anything with high AR and weird patterns, I expect to see some good performances along with his good speed. Do not pick No Mod 5 against him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, do not touch No Mod 5 against him. Do not touch any left-hand requiring maps. And anything with the higher AR might be something to look out for as well. And Mathy, again, going to be looking for some more strong performances, has continued his long-standing career of being one of the best. Going to move on now to number 5 in the list here will be Utami. This is, again, another face kind of alongside the likes of Malashevsky, a newer face in the scene compared to some of the names we've seen so far. You talk about players like Bartek, Badu, Mathy, who have been in the tournament community for a rather long time. Utami, not a new player, likewise with Malashevsky, but very recently came into the tournament scene as kind of that just absolute figurehead in terms of performance, not only for the United States, but in general. I think that Utami, making his debut a little bit earlier on, Malashevsky being a little bit more recent, Utami has been around, set himself at the top of the tournament performing list, and has basically kept himself there for, the better part of 2 years. And there's a reason he was basically instantly taken for the United States OWC team in past years. He is consistent. He will basically take any point you can possibly throw up against him. and likewise has had a significant number of top tournament performances within the past year, performing on some of the highest performing teams across tournaments. You talk about those super teams in tournaments, and I think that kind of falls through. Obviously, the winner of the perennial last year on the winning team, and the most recent winner of the OS World Cup 2021, part of the United States team.
Yeah, this guy is just a powerhouse all around. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the gimmick hidden ability, he's got the raw aim, he's got it all. It's gonna be really hard to take points off of this guy. Last year in Corsace Closed, he got number 2 spot, and I believe that he also ended up with number 1 on the qualifiers. So definitely expect to see him as a really high seed this year as well.
You see those stats on the side of the screen, and it really does show you that performance across the board. Stamina almost hitting a level 9 on there, and that is certainly no surprise if you've seen some of the live streams with him playing. He will play any BPM for any amount of time whenever you need him to, and that's kind of the scary part about it. And we will hope to see some of that type of performance within the tournament this year. With that is our top 5 players in the showcase. We'll be moving on to number 6 now. Will be Ikoro, the longest standing player in the list that we have seen thus far out of the players we have seen. Did not play last year again, has only recently come back to the tournament scene after a quite long hiatus from playing tournaments. Ikoro was a participant in the World Cups for France 8 years ago, and has recently come back and proven that, I don't know, respect your elders, I guess. I mean, this has come back and been the top performing player in his country for the past year, winning both the OSU French tournament for Standard and for Taiko, and has been a top performing player in multiple other tournaments, was on the winning Suiji team as well from last year, being the absolute rock for his team in the entire tournament, and has just in general been a very, very solid player overall, very quickly running to the top of the ranks, not only in his country, but is very slowly becoming regarded as one of the best tournament players in the scene actively after his recent performances.
Yeah, especially on the gimmick stuff, just in general, the hiddens, the rhythm gimmick stuff, all of that, he's really good. And then he's also got mechanics that are nothing to slouch at. Maybe not the highest tier speed player out there, but I wouldn't try too many crazy things against him, especially on finger control. So good luck.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. There's a lot of very, very strong mechanics players in this tournament, and I think Ikoro kind of falls on a similar side to maybe where Badu would fall, where, a lot of other players, you really don't want to pick the maps like Nomad 1, 2, 5, the couple top DTs against them. This is another one of those players where you really don't want to be touching maps like Nomad 3, Nomad 4, Nomad 6, Hidden 2, Hidden 3, all that type of stuff. They really want to avoid. There's those more niche skill set stuff that is, maybe found a little bit less across the board on top players. And, players, again, of course, like Ikoro and Badu will really kind of just run through players on them. And that, of course, is one of the main reasons, again, why he is up here and so strong in terms of tournament performance, filling a niche skill set like that. We are going to be going to the number 7 spot now. Going to be Taquito, another player who has been around playing tournaments for quite a long while, and recently, within the past, year or two, it kind of came out as being absolutely insane. Taquito was kind of always a good tournament player, if you've, been keeping tabs on him for a little while here, and then something clicked before, maybe 12, 14 months ago, and he just became absolutely insane. There was a very brief period of time where people were wondering if Taquito was just going to instantly take that top tournament player spot and hold it for a very long time. And has continued to perform well across the board, albeit has stepped back from tournaments a little bit more than some of the players we have seen thus far. We haven't seen him as actively through some of the more recent tournaments, and I think, this will be a good jump back into actively going through things, after recent months. Again, OWC kind of passed, and he hasn't really played some of the major stuff, but very much looking forward to seeing what Taquito is able to put up on the board this year.
Yeah, he's definitely been a strong performer in the past year or two. I'm really glad though they gave him a chance in 3WC a couple years ago instead of saying, oh, he can't play just because of church or something. So 'cause he's really just like shown that, you know, it's just like he'll show up for the matches, he'll perform, and it's no joke, no joke.
Yeah, the joke about Taquito not being able to play on Sunday will forever haunt him for the rest of the time in this game, but we digress. He is a very strong performing player when he is able to show up for matches, and that makes him just as good as candidate as any to be a player for this tournament. Moving on to our 8th player in the lineup now. This will be the halfway point, will be FG Hatsune Miku. I'm sorry, I you know, at the detriment of myself.
We don't have to take it seriously. We don't have to take it seriously. Let's just call him Arnold. We know he's Arnold.
Yeah.
Like, everyone
The
knows
name
he's
just
Arnold.
gets me every time. I'm gonna still call him MG Hatsune Miku, but yeah. Arnold 24x24, a very long-standing player, easily the top player in Peru by how many million light years? I mean, Arnold is just an absolutely insane player. There's really not much more to say about this. A little bit underrated on the stats on the right-hand side. You know, not quite the best qualifiers performance from last year, kind of tanking the stats down a little bit, but an absolutely stellar player across the board. Arnold will basically take any map and any team he is on and make, if he's not the star player on the team, he'll make himself the star player on the team, because that's the type of player that Arnold is. Again, another player who has been around in the tournament scene for longer than most people have been playing the game, you know, has been playing the game since 2013, has been playing tournaments for as long as most can remember, and that skill and that, you know, experience shows through in a player like this very heavily.
Yeah, it's, again, like, another big combination of reading ability and speed, top-tier speed, stamina on top of that just makes you insane. Also, in Perennial 2021, I think we saw him pull off easy on several of the free mod maps, so it's just... that goes to show, like, the versatility there. Also coming off of a Speed Cup win, same team as Matthew, so it'd be nice to see the team members fight against each other.
Yeah, all of the Speed Cup winners with kind of underwhelming speed stats on the side, very much not representative of their overall skill sets, but the highest ranked player I believe we've seen thus far at global rank number 6 now will be Arnold, and that'll at least finish off the top 8 players within our roster. We've got 8 more for you. This will be a round of 16 base tournament here. Going on to player number 9 now will be Zudinator, the Canadian powerhouse, absolutely ridiculous player. Again, another non-player from last year will be making her debut this year in Corsace Closed. Zudi has so handedly joined the ranks of the top Canadian tournament players and top Canadian players in general of all time over the past couple of years now, setting scores that have blown everyone out of the water across the board in this game mode. You know, plays like Euphoria Hidden and stuff like that. I mean, I could go on and name a couple more plays, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Again, it's kind of another one of those situations where you've got a player that shows up and just absolutely dominates their local tournament scene. I mean, when's the last time you heard of Zudinator losing a Canadian regional tournament? That's right, you haven't. And I think that type of performance is something that we should be very excited to see.
Yeah, I was about to just say when we were talking about plays here, because maybe part 2, because maybe part 4, like all of them. That's just the name of the song. You know, she's FC'd it, and it's like 20 minutes of crazy aim consistency. Really, that's the name of the game with Zudi. Like, she is just killer as far as the aim of any sorts, right? It's just kind of insane to watch. So. Cool playstyle too.
It's the hidden player. Yeah, the hidden player mentality, I feel like. I don't know. It's kind of the... Zudinator and Taquito are 2 of the players that you kind of like go into the tournament match and, you know, they get to tiebreaker and then you go, all right, so they're taking hidden on this map, and continually just performs out of, you know, whatever skill set that you can classify with that hidden modification. And it makes for, again, like you mentioned, great consistency overall across the board, and very impressive performances. Moving on now to the number 10 spot will be none other than Sakamoto 1 Emrek. Now, we've been talking about the highest ranked player so far. Ladies and gentlemen, your number 1 ranked player in the world from Australia. Again, a player that needs no introduction. Did not play Corsace Closed last year. Will be joining the lineup for this year in Corsace Closed. I, for one, and I think multiple other people are expecting absolutely amazing things out of Emrek. I think that, unfortunately has kind of gone unrecognized in upper scale tournaments for a little while, just because of, again, you've kind of got those players like Arnold where they're really not in a country that allows them to kind of show their full potential, especially in tournaments like OWC where Emrek can perform. Unfortunately, we had the qualifiers incident this past year, which didn't really help, but Emrek winning basically every major tournament besides the World Cup across the year, which is more than impressive in and of itself, has won the past 2 ANZTs, was Banger Bonanza winner last year with Bubbleman, won Yaz's Summer Cup, second place finishing team in Corsace Open this past year, and just overall, again, the number 1 player in the game has not always been one of the best tournament players, and I think that's just kind of the nature of the different skill sets that tournaments require compared to solo play. And Emrek is one of the few number 1 players of all time who has kind of proven himself that, no, he does have the tournament consistency, despite his, kind of shorter history within this game compared to other players, and has made quite a name for himself in, of course, both solo and tournaments.
Yeah, what I like to say with Emrek is, all right, so there's been a trend in the past couple of years where people would hit number 1 on the PP leaderboards, and then they would just become these unhinged tournament players, right? So what Emrek's doing the same thing, except he built up such a buffer as far as PP that it's more of he's just gonna hold on to that, and then he's still just gonna improve at all these other tournament skill sets along the way. So it's just that. Totally different league of play here. I can't wait to see what he does.
Yeah, I'm very excited again, of course. I don't know who wouldn't be excited to see how Emrek performs in this tournament. Has had, I think, second place finish in Yuki Aim, I also failed to mention as well. So a very impressive player, of course, succumbing only to Faxe, which, that's really not a knock at Emrek. That is still an impressive performance regardless. But excited to see that performance from him this year. Going to be moving on now to our 11th player on the list. Intercambing will be our second Chilean player we'll be seeing on this roster aside from Matthew. Here, global rank number 18. Another player who has basically turned Chile into an absolutely insane tournament country alongside Matthew. A strong player across the board, very mechanically oriented as a player. Does kind of, fall a little bit short in the more technical skill sets, but his mechanics more than make up for it. Is an absolutely outstanding player. Another winner of the Perennial last year, won South America tournament 2 in the previous year, and a couple other fantastic wins. Gotta aim fast in other tournaments of the like. A very, very solid player. And another player who's been around for a while, but has only recently really started to make a name for himself in a more front-facing light in the tournament scene, within the past year or two. And again, is a player who has just locked himself there.
Yeah, I have nothing else to add on that. That's pretty, other than maybe his rise mainly came from, or rather it was very noticeable with Corsace 2020, particularly on team Osu True Skill. So he was kind of the big carry for that team, and the reason they made it as far as they did, almost in hindsight. So, big carry. Big carry
For tournament teams, aside from his own country as well. So again, another stellar player, another top 20 player joining us on the roster there in this 11th spot. Now, for our 12th spot on the list, with only 4 more to go after, will be Xylus, our second Canadian participating in the tournament. sounds a little redundant at this point, but there's quite a few players on this list. Again, Xylus, another one of those players who has very recently started to make a name for himself as a top-performing tournament player, has always been a very proficient, very skilled player, and recently started to get a little bit more into tournaments, more within the past year, rather than year or two in tournaments, and ever since he has been a pivotal player, both within the Canadian scene and internationally now. I think he has started to really start to branch out, play more tournaments, and has continued to pull up that top performance across the board. Again, winner of Gotta Aim Fast Season 8, the final iteration of that, and has quickly propelled himself to the top 100 a little bit more recently as well. So if that doesn't give you any idea of how skilled he is, again, as a player as well, then I don't know what will. A very good face to see in this tournament, joining us for the first time this year.
Yeah, this guy is also a Speed Cup 5 winner, and he is probably the fastest of the people on that winning team. This guy is that tournament, they have the 300 BPM burst consistency, whatever. He's doing that. This guy is unmatched as far as speed goes. I can't wait to see what he does here.
Yeah, Xylus is one of the names that will hang and beat the top speed players in the world in his current status here. Very fast. Unfortunately, no statistics available to compare to last year, but man, watch out for those left-handed maps in this tournament. This guy has got those on lock for this, and with that has earned himself that 12th spot here in the lineup. Now for our number 13th on the list, going to be Sigi, our Mongolian friend. I really don't know what to say about Sigi. This guy is so criminally underrated in literally everything ever. I don't think I could ever say enough to make up for the fact that he does not get enough attention in the tournament scene, because, oh my god, he is a crazy player. First time performance in Corsace Closed. Again, not another performing from last year. Only ranked number 435, but do not let that thing, make you think that you have a chance against him, because most players probably don't. Consistent across the board, can play basically any skill set that you basically need him to, better than most other players can, and unfortunately doesn't really get much representation in tournaments due to the kind of lacking tournament scene, in Mongolia, and, not too many regional tournaments really catering to his zone as well. So, you really only see him in those open rank international tournaments, which there's not too many of, compared to others. So a fantastic player to finally see on the list this year, and I'm very excited to see how he performs against some of the best tournament players in the world.
Yeah, Scary is a player that basically only competes in open rank and has a rank like this. Because I think as far as the player list, he's the lowest ranked, and I mean, he's at this level of play. There's something special to him, so.
Yeah, Sigi is a tournament player at heart, does not play a whole lot of solo, and I think, he does certainly play some, but because of that, I definitely think starts to, the rank maybe not quite as representative of his tournament skill and experience. Being a very long-standing tournament player, has been playing tournaments for as long as I can remember, probably. Performing across the board in, of course, you mentioned rank restricted when he, was not 3-digit, and now open rank tournaments, and has, again, solidified himself a spot on this list, and is therefore what I would consider one of the, top tournament players in the world right now. And with that, we'll end our overview of Sigi. Moving on to number 14 in the list will be Whitecat, who is actually taking the spot of Kriller, who was unfortunately unable to participate this year. Whitecat is the staple of Germany, basically, in terms of tournament play. We've seen how he shows up, took number 1 by storm a few years ago, was eventually overtaken by Emrek, and has since stopped playing the game quite as consistently, therefore leading to the global rank number 4 here. Again, not participating last year, will be joining us for the first time this year. Is an absolutely insane tournament player. Whitecat, again, is another one of those instances of top players who, when Whitecat first started playing tournaments, he was not the best, at least compared to his rank. People would expect the number one player ranked in the world to, immediately run through tournaments, and didn't necessarily at the beginning, but he kept playing through and he kept getting better and better and better. And we've seen through multiple community tournaments in the past couple of years, not only in community tournaments, but even in the World Cups, Whitecat has been an absolute staple player for Germany, bringing them to second place finishes in both 2020 and 2021, only succumbing to the United States' roster. Was the winner or second place of Corsace Open last year. It was the winner of Bundesländer Bandel in 2021, is just a fantastic player overall. And again, I think, slightly more underrated, at the expense of my own wording here in the tournament scene, due to how little he plays tournaments compared to other people. I think if he played a lot more tournaments, he would have a significantly more lengthy history of success.
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone knows Whitecat at this point. Everyone's seen him in OWC, especially, as well as those other community tournaments. Again, a former rank 1 player that just kind of held the title for years until he got bored of it. So got bored of it, and now is playing tournaments and has kind of amassed skill there. So can't wait to see what he's gonna put up with. So.
Yeah, very excited to see Whitecat coming back into some more community tournaments now. So going to be a very solid performance from him this year, I think, in my mind. And now, with our number 15 spot, will be taken by Reedcat, our first Swedish player, and I believe only Swedish player on the lineup here of our 16. Not performing from last year as well, joining us for the first time this year. Reedcat's insane. Reedcat is a player, again, I think that goes under the radar in a different way, because he, for some reason, is still not regarded, I feel like, as a top tournament player, even though I feel like he kind of just steamrolls tournaments. Is absolutely ridiculous. Has more recently pushed himself into the top 25, which is absolutely crazy, through his absolutely insane hard rock ability, his insane stamina. Has the number 1 play on Yomiuri, I believe, with Nomad, if I'm not mistaken, or one of the top plays on Yomiuri with Nomad, which is his top play. And if your top play is Yomiuri, then you are kind of crazy at the game. Again, Hard Rock streams basically everything that you can think of in terms of that area of the game. Anything besides hidden, basically. And I'm not saying that because I think he's bad at hidden. I'm literally taking his own words. He absolutely despises hidden. So I think, after players like, Zudinator and Taquito in this lineup, we've got a Hard Rock main coming in here. And man, he is a very good Hard Rock main at that.
Yeah, I whenever I think of Reedcat, I can't forget his Genryu Kaiko Hard Rock play from almost 2 years ago. Right, it might have been beaten by now, but that thing was insane when it was set, and very few people can put up anything close to that. He also had a killer run in Nick's Winter Cup earlier this year. I think it was top 6, but it was a crazy bracket. So.
Yeah, he's, and again, no shortage of tournament wins. Reedcat is to Sweden as Zudinator is to Canada. Basically, any regional tournament that you can find within Sweden, Reedcat has basically won it. Winner of, Sweden Cup in 2021, winner of Couch Cup, Swedish Draft Cup, Sweden Cup 2020, 2019. Basically, as long as he has been a tournament player, he's been absolutely dominating the Swedish tournament scene. Won the perennial in the previous year, won Gotta Aim Fast. And just, again, another one of those players that is very well known through his region. Maybe not quite as much as he should be internationally, and I think tournaments like this really start to shed some light on just how impressive a player like Reedcat is, and I think he will surprise a lot of people with his performance in this tournament this year. But without further ado, our 16th spot in the lineup, our final spot, will be none other than Doomy, our Australian friend. Doomy is a player, again, that goes on my list of of, you know, kind of experience equals skill. Doomy has been around for, again, another one of those players longer than most other people have in this game. Doomy was basically to Australia what Emrek is now. He basically was the winner of every single regional tournament that you can find within the Australian scene. Winner of ANZT 5, 6, Australian States Cup 7, Speed Cup winner from 2019, was the winner of Corsace Open back in 2020. I mean, this is a player that, doesn't quite play tournaments as much as he used to, but certainly has maintained that level of performance, being absolutely outstanding in multiple skill sets. A very strong speed player, and actually one of the few players I think now that is strong at speed, where it is kind of reflected in the stats on the right-hand side a little bit. A very mechanically oriented player, and again, strong across the board, will give us a very good performance this year.
Wait, you're telling me we actually have numbers that mean something on this screen? What are you doing, man? Like, the order didn't mean anything, the numbers on the side were for fun? Come on, man. Alright, but it means something now? Okay, fine. Yeah, no, jokes aside, Doomy is, he's a crazy speed player, crazy stream player, like, he can do a lot of stuff. I don't really have much to say on Doomy, though. I mean, he's been around forever, so...
Yeah, I think, it's kind of funny that we joke about, oh my gosh, the stats are accurate for once, but I think that really speaks to the tournament experience overall and how consistent he is at performing to the level that people expect. In a qualifier setting like that, where, you go out and you can consistently put up the performance that you want to and that you should, is, again, something I think that really comes with playing a lot of tournaments and being able to go out there and know exactly where you are comfortable in and, where you're not. And that is a, advantage that I think some players take for granted a little bit. And I think that's why a lot of these older tournament players consistently remain at the top for so long. And Doomy has kind of kept himself here for a very long time. Not quite the low 2-digit that he used to be in terms of rank, given the amount of playtime, but certainly still holds his own against players up there. And with that, we'll actually conclude our player showcase. Those are our 16 participating players for the tournament this year. Go show your love to whoever your favorite player is, your favorite set of players, whatever you want. And without further ado, I'm going to step aside. I will be switching out here for none other than everyone's favorite Legless here. And we will be starting our Qualifiers Mappool showcase, and I will hand it over to you two.
All right, thanks, Chillier.
Hello, gamers. Today we are here to witness the very first, not really very first, anyways, the very first pool of Corsace Closed 2022. Yes, as said earlier, I am Legless. And disclaimer, I did not make this pool, but we will still talk about it nonetheless. Oh, am I too loud? I'm sorry.
Wow, this is, we just opened up a time capsule, didn't we? I almost want to say that, but... Yeah, I mean, you did make the pools last year, so I'm sure you can talk a little bit about what's going on, right?
Yep. Yeah, still yell at me. I will shout out to the main people who are running the map pools for this year's Corsace Closed. Those being Alex Dark 69, Chiv, and Deca. But obviously Deca kind of helps with a lot of things. So, anyways, shout out to those three for those are the ones who actually sort of organize the pools this year. But in terms of my pools and Happy's pools, we'll be seeing that in open in a couple months.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys won't be too disappointed. These guys, like Alex, Chiv, they have a lot more sanity on them in general compared to both me and Legless. So in that sense, the pools will probably make more sense. But they will still be very high quality, and I can't wait to see what we got. So
yes. And last thing I kind of want to say is that just like last year, we decided to make Corsace Closed have a lot more two things. First, it's a hybrid system where not all maps are custom, where we have like roughly 50-50 split between custom maps and non-custom maps, which we kind of decided was like probably the most fun strategy, considering that it's a little bit too much work to make everything custom, and we also wanted to try out a lot of mappers that we thought had good potential, and then judge their closed maps and see if they can move over to open. But that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah, so I think now we should be ready to see some maps, pending our operator. And we're on to No Mod 1. Wait, oh my god. Strike the Blood by Kisida, Kyodan, and Akiboshi Rockets. Wow. I thought they got the source and the title mixed up at first. I didn't think that the song was actually named after the anime, but sure enough, that's what we got here. So I'm not sure if this is a custom or not, but
this is a custom, but it's not a Corsace Closed custom. Pretty much.
Okay.
This was a custom for a Coffee Hispanic, and you might see a couple of maps from that tournament because there were a lot of custom maps from that tournament that are actually pretty good, even though the tournament itself was not that popular. So, and also the second thing was that Alex and I both pooled that one, and coordinated all the custom mapping. So we kind of sticks out in our hearts to use some maps from there to give the mappers a little more recognition.
Yeah, alright, that makes a lot more sense. Look, I could say more about this anime than I could say about the map, but even then I'm gonna have to dig back a few years, but this anime is pretty old, at least 4 or 5 years old at this point.
Look, I don't even know what anime is at this point.
Dude, I mean, look, the only reason I know what this is because this is anime from back when I was actually watching anime, man.
True. Anyways, as you can see, this map is definitely the defining feature is that it's a little bit faster than what you might think of a No Mod 1, but that's also subjective considering the difficulty we're working with.
Yeah, it looks like it's not one of the 1-2 No Mod 1s, but instead more of the triangle spam. Skill, I had a conversation with Skill once, and he explained to me that No Mod 1s do have variety. They are not all the same maps. Some are triangles, some are 1-2, and then some are quasi-pattern aim or whatever. So I'm like, okay, yeah, bro, this is your triangle No Mod 1.
Yeah, especially in Corsace, I think we see those quasi-pattern aim ones a little more. I remember that last year there was that one map by Nightly's that was 220 BPM with weird angles and stuff.
Yeah, that one was special. I don't know what you were thinking there, but it was cool. So
yeah, smoking some. Couple of big flow aim streams here, especially in the bridge section with very ringy guitars.
Yeah, that's gonna. There's gonna be some misses on that one. So
I feel like we see that more often than you think with really flow aimy stream patterns on No Mod 1s for some reason.
Dude, it's because we've just gotten to the guitar solo mapping has progressed a lot over the years. In 2013, 2012, they were mapping breaks over them. Then it's in 2014, 2015 was the sweet spot as far as not too many streams because they're no, nobody can stream. And then somewhere in 2017, 2018, mappers just collectively went off the wall and started putting the gigantic streams on these guitar solos, which is yeah, it fits the song, but it's gonna kill some people. So.
The Chad Val Owen away.
Basically.
Hey man, you gotta make use of those sick drum fills.
Very true, man. Very true.
What else are you gonna do, man?
Many things. You can just pretend that it doesn't exist. Like I said, you can even go as far as a break.
I will crush this guitarist. Yeah, take it up with the guitarist of Akiboshi Rockets, man. Okay, No Mod 2. Yeah, there's no break this time between the maps. Alright, we got Chemo Mapping. Sound Voltex Song. 200 BPM flat. That's pretty much the No Mod 2 BPM at this point. But anyways, lots of flow patterns, lots of stuff. This song has surprising amount of 1-3 for some frickin' reason. But
more common than you would think, I think, with No Mod 2-ish songs, right? Those producers love to put 1/3 fills every now and then, so it's okay. Oh wait.
Oh, what the heck just happened?
Oh yeah, it revived. It's fine. it's just like it's just 20 claim, bro. It's not actually 20 claim, but we can make that excuse, right? Like
Press panic button.
Big L. Alright, yeah, so this one looks like it's got a bunch of just aim. Basically, it looks like it's shorter bursts with flow aim, and then it's got jump separating them. So, not too big on the stamina requirements, not too much note lock potential from, like, you know, long streams, but it's more about frequent flowing. So.
Yeah, exactly. Not too many super long streams here. Also, not even that long of a map to begin with. It's, you know, rhythm game size, so.
Alright, that stream is where the stamina's at, actually. So.
Yeah, true. But hey. But I mean, in a qualifier setting, I imagine it will be quite nerve-wracking. Because you can have your score be absolutely ruined in an instant with such a short map like this, and being a No Mod 2, you can miss a lot at once.
It's fine. That's the name of the game. I mean, what's No Mod 2 without no lock?
True. Yeah, honestly, No Mod 2 is like a flow aim pick nowadays, rather than like really a tapping thing. Grand Finals.
Whoa! Wait! What? Hold on a second. All right. We were just getting memed there.
Spoiler.
Okay.
Anyways, we got Up and Jumpin' by your favorite Hideki Naganuma on Twitter. Map by Artisan. Man. This map slaps.
Yeah, so this is like this feels like the sequel to Ain't Nothing Like a Funky Beat, which had an OWC custom, but it was this guy that mapped that first for Banger Bonanza last year. And it looks like this is your alt map. That's basically what I'm seeing.
Yep, quite a low BPM one as well. It's like 136, and it definitely contains more towards the snap aim control side rather than the flow aim side, which is actually kind of really cool in my opinion.
Yeah, so this is probably a lot more on the dense side. When you think of like your typical alt map, I think it's just, you know, a couple streams here and there with some funny spacing and angles, and then, if you can call them that, and then that's it, right? Just like a couple of them. This is more of you're just getting hit with them every couple seconds, you know, one pattern after the next. It's like your rest patterns are the snap aim patterns rather than the other way around. So.
True about the density. This is AR 9.4. Sounds like pretty high, but kind of expect more sometimes with maps of this difficulty.
Yeah, I feel like this is what, like the 9.5, 9.6 angle usually. So.
Yeah. Artisan has also been like in the scene for a really long time, but now is like a mapper guy who does stuff. Pretty underrated. I don't know if he's that many ranked maps, but goddamn, are these maps good.
I don't recall too many ranked maps by him, but I could also just be tripping. So.
Dude definitely has more than a couple, but not too many.
Yeah, he's got 6. Alright, respectable.
Funky, fresh beats enjoyers. I will say, slight spoiler, you're gonna see a lot more of this guy in open.
I mean, good, because he's got the bangers, so...
Yep. What game is this from? Warp Drive? I've never heard of that one. What is it like?
I have no idea, dude. Like, what? I don't know.
Every time I hear video game music that bangs, I'm just like, damn, I want to play it now. Like, I'm not even joking. Music is almost my biggest motivator to play new video games nowadays. If it doesn't have music, I just don't want to play it.
Dude, that's what Yaspa was telling me with custom he's working on. He's just like, oh my god, this song is so good. I didn't know this guy made music for this game. I'm gonna go play the game.
Oh yeah, that one. What? Yeah, no, I have it on my Steam wish list.
yeah. Like, I was like, what?
Yeah, dude. Bro. Like, one of my favorite shmups has remixed by that artist. I'm not gonna disclose it yet because it will spoil. But
yeah. Okay. We're good.
Rhythm gamers playing the game for music. Hey man, we nerding out here.
Very true.
This song doesn't end. It's 3:46. That's pretty long.
It's like alt map length, honestly.
Yeah, I wonder why alt maps have been like spec'd towards longer in recent years. Anyways, whatever. Next time.
Yeah. I guess it's the tech slot, and it's by Cubby, so there's gonna be some sanity involved with some of these sliders, but you know, it looks like there's just enough for you to actually have some fun as far as sliders, but nothing yet. You know, the thing is with these songs, like they have build up.
Yeah. This map definitely specs. Actually, this part is more of the stream aim kind of thing, but I know that later on in the map it gets way slidery, like crazy slidery. Like here.
Okay, got it. So this is just the warm up. All right, cool.
But yeah, no, classic rhythm game song length kind of tech map. Honestly, I think like the trend that we're sort of seeing nowadays is also like tech maps not generally being very long. Most of them are now just like rhythm game songs, rhythm game length kind of stuff. I'm not sure what my opinion on that is, but hey, we're gonna deal with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense, just because of, like, the tech maps, just in general, they tend to be a lot more volatile on score, so it makes sense for them to be shorter. The thing with the alt ones is, I don't think there's, like, an actual balancing reason for that. I think it's more of, those songs always tend to be in the 4-minute range, or close to
True that, yeah, true that.
So, it just simplifies finding the songs, and it's, like, it's offset by the tech being short, so.
Slider moment. Yo, Zenith. 727 Blue Zenith, when you see it. Should've used the friggin' Blue Zenith background for this map. I'm mad.
You know you weren't getting away with that. But anyways, hidden one, right? This is gonna be like your quasi consistency-ish thing. Okay, hang it out. Alright. But this is this seems to be like your just hidden consistency in general, where it's like you see a lot of space triple and like on some streams and such, but I imagine we're gonna see some more messed up angles and such that are coming along.
Very much lots of streams in this one. Nice SS from Chillier, by the way. Honestly, I like the rhythms in this map. Like, they are mapped exactly how I would map them.
Good to know. They just looked at your map and they just did that, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, no, not really. These are some really weird rhythm maps with the rhythms with the sliders.
Yeah, this sort of pick reminds me a lot of what the Hidden One was in OWC in the early rounds, especially this year, which is kind of a map with a bunch of skills rather than like pure patterning.
Yeah, and a lot of objects on the screen at once, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just kind of you have like some short bursts with some aim components to them, space triples, you know, variable spacing quints, and other bursts, and then it's like swing parts and. You know, just kind of does a lot.
Yep. But anyways, yet another rhythm game size where, you know, in there and out, 2 minutes, 2-minute journey. Now we're on to HD2, which will definitely be a much longer journey if we're gonna get it on the stream. Chillier SS this, but I cannot understand anything, sad Louis. Chillier paired 在 Wisdom Ayat 战士中得到 81%. I bet it's my fault because I joined VC. I'm sorry. And spent $25 on a shirt just to hear the song 8 times.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we're having some technical difficulties, but
Got him.
wow.
Wait,
right
where'd the music go? Oh, there it is.
We are the music.
I'm going to make all the drum sounds of this song with my mouth.
Oh, please don't.
I have noise suppression on. It'll probably suppress the noise.
All right. So what do you know about this one, Legless? Is this also a custom?
This shit is 5 stars. Yes, it's a custom. Thank Mr. Guibenet. I think this is a custom. I'm 90% sure this is a custom. But anyways, yeah, thank Mr. Guibenet. This is like, I was kind of surprised when I saw that this map was like 5.25 stars or whatever. And I asked Alex about it, and he said that all the playtesters were like, nah, this is good for qualifiers. This is a map with very, very jank aim patterns. Not really in this intro section here before it picks up, but it gets really weird later on with tons of overlaps, tons of unintuitive rhythms. Like you shit miss, and then you realize a second later that you shit miss kind of patterns. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's basically hidden too.
Yeah. But it's not just like an aim map, you know? It's not just like straightforward patterns and angles. We got some crazy anti-aim patterns in here.
Yeah, this one definitely follows like the trend of like the Mirage type low AR picks. So I'm seeing like almost Mesa Vaporish stuff here, especially what reminds me of that is these circle chains. They're really long. You kind of have to hit like 20 at a time before you actually get a tapping break or just processing break, really, since BPM is so low.
Oh, music enjoyers.
Yeah, Gibbon maps are a lot more. I think he's made a name for himself on some of these low AR stuff. I saw he ranked some VTuber thing that was also AR aim maps, so I guess he's kind of big in this.
I feel like Homie is just one of those people who can like map anything, like legit.
Possibly.
But yeah, Will Cookiesy. With the SS on this, both hidden maps get SS'd. That must mean hidden is the easiest mod in the game. Get wrecked.
Dude, it's just a preference mod, don't you? That's what everyone's saying, man.
This map is like definitely one of the maps that is just way harder on hidden. I think this map is like actually really easy on no mod, but like why would you do that? It's not fun.
Yeah, I think some of these rhythm gaps are gonna throw people off. Those are always the fun part of low AR hiddens.
I mean, definitely this map can be somewhat of a nerf check, because it's relatively straightforward. But like you shake just a little bit and you get absolutely decimated by the anti-aim patterns. So. Oh, the map's over. I thought it was longer than that. Well, time passes. Okay, car slider enjoyers. Yes,
you know,
Captain HR1. Wow, who would have thought?
That car slider went vroom. It just went right past us. I think it was probably the first slider of the map. And then
was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Alright, what do we say about this one? Captain Hard Rock 1, this is like his captain in his natural habitat. Like, this is what you probably grew up with playing wise. Yeah. That's what's going on here.
WTF, man. Why is this also high BPM, bro? It's fine. It's like inevitable with this kind of difficulty. Anyways, banger song. Who the hell is Wolfiskater, and why does everyone map them nowadays?
Maybe it's a VTuber.
I don't think I think it's like a band, right? I'm like 90% sure it's like a band or a circle of some sort.
Dude, you're the music guy, not me. Come on, bro.
True. Anyways,
yeah.
Neru. the Vocaloid guy. I don't know. Dude has been diversifying so hard recently. Dude makes like everything nowadays. Kind of nuts. You wouldn't think this guy was the guy who made all those depressing Vocaloid songs of your teenage years.
Pretty much.
Ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, about the map itself, this one actually has a bit of a pattern name focus compared to what you typically expect out of a Hard Rock one. And lore for the diff name is essentially Deca, you know, resident mapping coordinator for Corsace Closed, you know, saw the slider and it was like, this is inted, and so Captain, you know, not going to be told to stop mapping that slider. He just made more of them, and that's now it's the diff. So look for the car sliders.
I'm trolling as usual. I am indeed trolling as usual. Oh yes, pattern name really on that one. Oh man, my stream lagging kinda. That's fine though. Anyways, nice vocalist. Cool person. Nice stream shapes. I ain't gonna lie, they're pretty aesthetic.
I mean, what else were you expecting? Come on, bro.
True that. Any Eggle Seeker enjoyers? That map became like over 8 stars on no mod after the friggin' SR update.
Deserve.
By the way, full version's out. It's 7 minutes long.
But yeah, this is just like an all-rounder Hard Rock pick. Nothing too weird, so I'm expecting the next one to be quite weird. But again, I haven't seen this, so.
Can we make a version of this map where all the sliders are cars?
That sounds doable. It sounds like a lot of effort for a meme, but I think it would be funny.
Got a convertible here, a motorcycle there. What is a motorcycle a car? Anyways, whatever. Oh yeah, alright. So this was a precision pick, not a custom, of course. That we kind of picked at the last second because the other map we had in here was like way too easy. Gunga Banger, I agree.
Wow, I didn't think we would be seeing a classic Star Sticks, aka Nakano Itsuki map in this pool, but here we are.
Yep. This map's kind of old, actually, if I remember. It's like 2016, maybe? Okay, it might be. Wait, no, it's not that old, is it? I don't remember.
It's pretty old. This was like an ancient pending cup or newspaper cup or something.
Yeah, something like that. China, you know, China, Hong Kong kind of thing. 2016 is old map. Hong Kong. Anyways. Yeah, lots of slow streams, slow jump streams, and a couple 1/6s thrown in there for good measure, but low BPM kind of thing. Tight beat. Watch your accuracy, to be completely honest.
Yeah, it's this one's really just like your rhythm plus precision pick. So if Hard Rock 1 was kind of like the generalist for Hard Rock, this is definitely for Hard Rock specialists to really show true colors. So.
Oh my god, what a good song. Oh, I love Nekomata Master. Oh. Fun fact, I'm pretty sure he's like 50 now. What a boomer.
Hey, that's Star.
No way!
Dude, mappers can't be putting selfies of themselves into maps. What?
Are you telling me that this caption is a car?
Oh man, no. I wasn't saying that, but anyway.
Anyways, now we got Kuso Forest as DT1. This map has a very surprisingly low object count, Nevo map. Although this map looks IMO a little bit different than your average Nevo map. I don't know what I don't know how it's like why, but anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Nevo map, Kuso Forest, we've known this song. It's a cover though, not a classic.
It's a cover, it's not the original. We can use it.
Yeah,
Poggers.
It has a bit more bursts than you usually expect out of a DT1. It's not just an elf map. Just have a little bit of speed element, but still doable even if you're not super strong on speed. You just have to. It just a little, just a bit, just quints mostly.
This is the one made for the anime. Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, Kagero Project was the shit back in the day. Oh god, nostalgia. I'm being hit by it so hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot they made an anime out of this.
Yeah. It was a little awkward, but I don't remember anything about it because it's like the third show I ever watched.
Hey, I thought you didn't watch anime. What?
This was in like what? 2015? 2015.
Wait, it's that old? Oh god.
I don't know when it was made. It was probably older than that, but I watched it in 2015. The show sucked with because it was originally a music project. It wasn't originally supposed to be a story. It was just like stringing together a couple arcs through songs. And like, okay, let's make it a cohesive thing. 2014, because I mapped stuff from it then. Okay, yeah. Alright. Nostalgia bangers?
Yeah, now this is a classic, right? So, Night of Fire, this map is just, woo! Classic DT fodder. This is like, lots of streams, lots of finger control, both at once. It's pretty much all there is to say there. Technically, it is all, I think it's pretty much mostly double tappable, but, you're
yeah, it's very double tappable, but your act is gonna go down the drain.
Yeah, no, that's not the wisest move for this. Because, not much to miss on this map.
What?
Not much to miss on this map.
Yeah, exactly. Actual like 2011 map or something. Probably older. Man. Eurobeat is fantastic. That's all I can say. Eurobeat is fantastic.
Glad you're an enjoyer.
Enjoyer. Oh, you'll be seeing a lot of Eurobeat in Open. I'm just gonna tell you.
Yeah. The thing about these maps is, you know, when they are, when you're in the, like, intense parts, they're really intense, and it's just, like, the calm parts, very calm. Not, modern maps are not like that.
Yeah, but it's good, because, like, the calm parts don't give a lot of combos, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, nice overlay. Yes, that is the entire pool. It is only 10 maps, because qualifiers, right? Qualifiers is not a large pool. They will be getting larger as we go on, and I believe we are still doing the same thing as last year, where for finals and grand finals, the pools will have 4 of hidden and hard rock. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, well, it does look like that's all we got for you. We've been through players, we've been through maps. I'm Half Slash, and this is Legless, and I think you're tired of hearing us. So see you guys next week.
Yeah, dude, peace out.